Morning, dear students. Last day I explained the chapter number 1, Object Oriented Programming Concepts. Today I will discuss some question answers with you. So first question which I want to discuss with you, that is, what are the difference between object oriented programming and procedural programming? I explained both these programming approaches with you. So, today we will see what are the differences between them. First difference between object-oriented programming and procedural programming is object-oriented programming supports its all object-oriented programming concepts like encapsulation, abstraction, polymorphism, and inheritance. But procedural programming only supports modular programming. I already explained you about the modular programming, means it divides the program in small tasks, small procedures, small modules. Second difference is, in object oriented programming, data is more secure. Why? Because it has the feature of data hiding. But in procedural programming approach, data is less secure because there is no way of data hiding. Third difference, object oriented programming gives us the facility of data reusability, means same coding you can again use it. But in procedural programming, it provides less code reusability. Next, the fourth difference between object oriented programming and procedural programming is, in object oriented programming there is a possibility of overloading of functions. Overloading of function. But this possibility is not provided by procedural programming. One more difference which I want to share with you, that in object oriented programming we have the facility of access specifiers, means according to our wish, according to our requirement, we can access our class as public, private or protected. But in procedural programming, there is no way of private or protected class. All the members are only public. So these are the differences between object-oriented programming and procedural programming. The next question which I want to explain you, that is, what is the difference between a class and an object. Already I explained you about to you about the class and object. Object is an identifiable entity. It has its own identification with some characteristics and behavior. Which type of characteristics and behavior? Which is defined by the class. Whereas a class is a group of objects that share those common properties and relationships which is provided by the object, means same type of properties and relationship. So a class is a blueprint from which multiple objects can be created. Class is a blueprint of multiple objects, means which type of, for example, which type of behavior you will show, you all are the object of the class 9. So which type of behavior you will show, that will be the behavior of your class. Okay. If you are naughty, it means your class is naughty. If you are obedient, it means class 9 is obedient. In this way, you can say that class is a blueprint of multiple objects. Next question. Next question is how the data is hidden and safe if encapsulation is implemented. It means if we will implement the concept of encapsulation, how your data is hidden and also safe. So encapsulation is the way of combining data and function. Already I explained these things. So the data cannot be accessed directly. How it can be accessed? First we have to take the permission, then only we can access the data. So in this way data is hidden and safe. For example, there is a company. In that company there are different departments. Like if salary department wants some information from the accounts department, then directly it cannot access from the account department. First it has to take the permission from account department, and how much necessary information is available, how much necessary information uh, who want the salary department, only that much information will be given by the account department, not all the information. Means other information, other data will be hidden and safe with account department. So in this way we can say that data and functions are safe and hidden if we will implement the encapsulation. The next question, it is about the reusability. How is reusability supported by inheritance? Means if we will implement inheritance, how we can reuse the data. So inheritance, what is this process? Inheritance is the process in which one class can inherit the properties of another class. Means we, which class will inherit the property, that is known as derived class, and from which class it will inherit the property, that is known as base class. So in this process derived class will inherit the properties from base class. So when it will inherit the property from base class, that coding, that part of data can be reused. No need to write it again in that derived class. Again we can use that coding, we can use those data in the derived class. It means classes can be written, compiled and saved. So new classes can be derived from existing ones. Existing ones means base class. So in this way, when it will reuse the coding of base class, who will use derived class? Derived class can reuse the coding of data of base class. In this way, it will save the time and effort. It shows the reusability of codes. Next question. How the abstraction and encapsulation are related to each other. Abstraction means to extract the relevant information. And you know that in the term of encapsulation, all the data are hidden and safe. So encapsulation assists abstraction by providing means of suppressing the non-essential details. It will give only the necessary information to implement the abstraction. Other non-essential details will be hidden with the feature of encapsulation. Okay? Necessary information will be extracted by the process of abstraction, and non-essential will be hidden by the concept of encapsulation. So encapsulation is the way to implement abstraction. Now next question, what is base class, what is derived class, how are they interrelated? A base class and derived class, these both are related to the concept of inheritance. In inheritance, a base class will inherit the property from derived class. So a base class is a class whose properties are inherited by the derived class, and derived class is a class that inherit the properties from another class. How are these two, base class and derived class, are interrelated? A derived class has almost all the properties of base class because it inherit the properties from base class, but the reverse is not true. Okay, so these were some important question from your chapter. Read thoroughly the book, do these all questions in your notebook, and be up to date. Thank you. Have a great day.